Pat's beautiful mink coat transformed into 4 jointed teddy bears and one 18 by 18 inch pillow. I belong to a quilting guild, and I had made one of the teddy bears and brought it to one of the meetings for show and tell. Well, one of the ladies at the meeting, Pat, saw them and said, "Oh my gosh, I have the perfect project for you. I have a mink coat that was gifted to me by my mother, and I would wear it only once a year. I would love for you to turn them into some teddy bears." And I was thrilled to do it for her, because it's not only wonderful that I can do this, but to do it for a friend of mine was even better. Anyway, here I'm removing the lining. The lining is going to be used in the ear portion of the teddy bear as well as the foot pads. There was some staining on it, so I couldn't use it for the pillow. The next part is just to deconstruct the fur itself, removing the sleeves, going through the collar area, and trying to maximize the amount of usable fur, because I have to make 3 teddy bears at the time, and I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of fur to go around. It turned out that I actually had enough to make 4 of the bears, as well as an 18-inch pillow, and I'm going to be making 2 14-inch pillows as well, with the very end of the leftovers. So here I'm just removing the pockets and all the supportive material. Here I'm cutting down the collar area and removing it. Those areas up in the collar and the areas of the armholes I'm going to end up using for the smaller pieces, and I'm going to use the wider backed part for the big pieces. Once that's done, I have to draw out all the templates for each of the bears. Depending on the bear that's being made, some have more pieces than others, and since this is a jointed bear, it's very important that the markings are exact, because I'm going to have to put joints in there as well. And as you can see, this can be a time-consuming process. Since I've been doing so many teddy bears and bunnies, I now do it a little bit differently. I scanned everything into my scan and cut, and now I just have it print everything on there and cut it as well. So that's a big savings of time. I don't cut the fur on the machine. That I do cut by hand. So I'm cutting out for all 3 bears. I'm using a plain muslin for the backing material. And then these all have to be individually cut out and glued with a glue stick, water-soluble glue stick, onto the fur side. or the skin side of the fur. There are all the pieces for the 3 bears. The next step is to glue them down. And these are the lining pieces for the foot pads. Now this is what the skin side look like, and there are all the pieces lined up being ready to sew. So I'm going to start with the side head pieces, then the gusset, put the heads together. I'm using straight pins because it holds the fur together much easier. I place the nose and the eyes in, stuff the head, added the joint, shaped the face, then moved on to the arms and the feet, and here is the other arm and the ears and the legs. And there he is, all put together. So how do I do that? Well, I first do an overcast stitch along the edge of each individual piece with the fur machine. And this fur machine actually is over 100 years old. After I do all the overcast stitching, I then move on to my old Kenmore machine and I do a running stitch all the way around the fur itself. I do that for all the pieces, and then I stuff the bear and hand sew all the areas closed. And here are the brothers and sisters all together. They are adorable. Now, the same pattern was used for every one of the bears, but their faces are all different, and that's because of the way the fur is, the texture. There's a lot of movement in this fur, and that's because of the way it was pieced together on the back. And you can see it's made up of multiple small little pieces of fur, and that's what gives it its unique texture. Here's the 18-inch pillow. And you can see the design there. That's the back of the pillow. I have enough to make 2 14 by 14s. I'm going to do that for her. And I absolutely love this project. I thought it was fantastic. So come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.